financial planner. And one of the things over the course of my career is that, especially when I first started, what I think is everyday stuff, of course, is not to my clients. So I learned how to explain things in very easy to understand terms. And even with that, I have done webinars on Social Security and explaining how all of this works. And most people kind of put it off because it's one of those things where I don't need to understand that quite yet. And germane to what you were talking about earlier, Cameron, and that is, well, what about understanding it, getting it out of your mind so you totally understand how it works and how it's going to affect you and what's going to go on with the future of the program? Wouldn't understanding that today free up some space in your head so that you can think about other things? And it's not so much about coming up with a solution today, but I thought using something where the storytelling I used to do with my daughter when I would put her to bed, she didn't want me to read a story to her at night. She wanted me to make something up. And so just about every night, I made up a new story. And so this is kind of like that, although I never taught her about Social Security. But in terms of just coming up with fun things and using your imagination. You know, an interesting thing was I just saw James Patterson. Last night, in fact, I saw him. And one of the things I noticed was when he was asked an easy question, he would give a yes or no. But if not, you could just see his eyes would go off in a different direction and he would start with a story. And it might have a little bit to do with what the question was, but he's off on his own tangent. And you can see why he writes as many stories as he does, because he's a story kind of guy. That's the way he thinks. And I thought with a story like The Three Bears, something where the title itself may seem a little funny, right? But having it where it can bring people in and say, well, that's interesting. The whole idea is initially is to get people to say, well, what's that all about? How do those two tie together? And so,
well, I'm sure it can't be too complicated. It's three bears working very hard to put money into the program to support an aging Goldilocks. Case closed.
Well, Goldilocks didn't make the cut. She's not in the story. She's actually a swear word. Papa Bear is like, what in the name of Goldilocks is that? You know. But anyway, that's the only way she comes up.
Very cute.